All right, let's give this a try. So, earlier, as I was listening to Al with the Boston Breakers playing against the Miami Dolphins, Al, Red Sox fan, I started doing up a schedule for the WHL 1962-63 season because I'm doing an abbreviated or condensed season for that project. And hopefully everything there is I can zoom in. Actually, I'm going to actually once I lock focus, I might not be able to. Remains to be seen. But this is it. This is the gist of it. I have here. This is the dock hockey portion of it right here, the regular season. 56 of 80 regular season games will be played with dock hockey, and then 24 of 80 regular season games will be played with paradise hockey. Hope that all adds up. Yes, it does. Wow, I'm not even going to edit that out. So for whatever reason there, I just had a little, I don't know, call it like a mild. I don't want to joke about something as serious as a panic attack, but maybe call it a bit of a mild one there. Where I was looking and I was like, wait a minute, maybe these numbers don't add up. I think I have a little paranoia that's actually stemming from the Mike Owens Quick Play Pro Hockey when, again, I shared this idea for a schedule and I even shared that in a video. And then it turned out that there were some mistakes with it. I think this one is going to be okay. So it's what I have done is I've actually, and again, maybe this is where I'll zoom in. I'll just focus on one team, I guess. So it takes the Calgary Stampeders. You can see here the SG with the pound key, I guess, with the number sign there, or the sharp. That is the SG number stands for scheduled game number. So as it works out, like you can see here, so Calgary at Edmonton on the road, that's scheduled game number 1. And so conversely over here, Edmonton versus Calgary, meaning they receive Calgary in Edmonton, that's going to be scheduled game 1 over here. And again, I do this all the way up to 80. And so, of course, when you get down to the Southern Division teams, don't know why the border's not covered there. I just notice little things like this. I converted this to PDF, actually. I thought it would look better showing it in PDF than showing it on a spreadsheet. So anyway, yeah, I guess there are a few. Oh, no, it's over here. Anyway, so a few things missing here, but whatever. That's bothering me now. But it's... what am I trying to say about this? Yeah, it's one of those things where I just I thought I would share the idea, and I'm just curious to see what, curious to get others' thoughts on it. Whether, I don't know whether you think it's a good idea, a bad idea. Maybe it's something you have tried out before, or something that you might like to try out. What I'm going to do actually, and I think this is something else that will keep me interested in playing it and playing forward and continuing with it. Not that I think I'm going to need a whole lot to get me motivated and in the mood to play this. I think this will pretty much, I will want to play this. But I'm going to use a random number selector. I have one actually on this phone where I can choose. Basically, because what I will do, I'm going to play games 1 to 56 with dog hockey first, just to keep it simple. And then for the final 24 game portion of the regular season, the division rivals games with Paradise Hockey, I'm going to have those conclude the regular season actually. So especially if there is, hopefully anyway, there will be a situation where some teams, they'll be closely contesting a division playoff spot. Those division rival games should really kind of amp up at least my interest in playing them out. So again, to get back to the random number picker thing, what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a list, just number 1 to 56. That's going to be my first list. And I have an app on my phone where I can draw numbers at random, any, number of numbers, I guess. And once it comes out of the list, it doesn't go back into it. So once you actually remove that number, I have used this for other games, for other game design stuff I've been fiddling around with. So I know that the app does work, and I can even go away from it for days at a time and return to it, and it still will. So again, say for instance, the random number comes up, I don't know, 33 or something like that. So I look here in 33. Of course, I should have chosen 32 because I'm looking right at 32. Now I have to find 33. That's just my luck, of course. So 33 is going to be Seattle at San Francisco. So what I would do simply is I'm going to delete or cross out. Maybe I'll actually print this and have this sheet of paper here offline. Oops, and so that way I can actually delete or scratch. Well, if it's online, I'll delete it. Offline, I just scratch it out with pen. So I would, for instance, again, Seattle and San Francisco, that being game 33, Seattle at San Francisco. If the number 33 comes up, then I go to Seattle and I go to San Francisco and I find the number 33 in both team schedules and I just remove that number. It's probably not nearly as complicated as I just made it sound, and sorry that I have a bad habit of doing that when I'm on camera like this. But anyway, it's something that I'm quite looking forward to, because again, I think this will give me another reason, because I will sit down and set up and get ready to play, or start to set up and start to get ready to play without knowing who will be playing next, until I get at least toward the end of the season and there's only a few games left, and then I'll have a pretty good idea once we're down to just a few games in the schedule. But in the beginning, it's pretty much anything goes, and random numbers are random numbers. So I mean, the low numbers here, Calgary, all their games, they take numbers 1 to 14. So if it's a low number, it's pretty much guaranteed to be Calgary. But some of these teams here, especially that are kind of middle of the pack, who knows? They might not play for 5 or 10 or 20 games, or there could be a stretch of 5 to 10 games where they're playing in pretty much every game. So it could be a very random, very wacky, and wild schedule. And I might, actually, as I say that too, I'm having this little debate upstairs where I might even, in my head, where I might even try to mitigate some of that, because I do want to post standings throughout the season, and it's going to look a little strange and awkward if one team has, like, say 11 or 12 games played and the other team has 2. So there will probably be some, I don't know, I might do some tinkering with this, not tinkering in terms of changing it. I think actually it's pretty flawless there right now. I really do think, and I say that knowing that I did mess some stuff up in the Mike Owens Quick Play Pro Hockey one, so how dare I do another video with the schedule. But I don't know, it's just something that I was just wanted to share, just kind of eager to share, to be quite honest. As geeky as that's probably going to make me sound, I just, I did this again, was listening to Al broadcasting his football game, and I started plugging away at this, and was just, I guess if I can say so myself, just kind of happy at what I came up with. This excludes playoffs. I've read a bit about the WHL 62-63 earlier. Their playoff format, I'm kind of going back, because I want to do my own anyway, and so it's a condensed season. I want to do kind of a condensed playoff format. In other words, I'm trying to decide whether or not the top 4 teams will qualify or the top 6 teams will qualify. And what I might actually do in making that decision is maybe toward the end of the season, which in a 20-game season, it's more likely than not, the race for the playoffs will be pretty tight, in which case I might make the decision at the last minute in the final hour that, you know what, let's advance 6 teams to the playoffs. Let's give the top 2 teams a bye, the top teams in each division. There is, by the way, I'm not sure if you can see it too well, I guess a bit of WHL, I don't know, 101 or whatever that this could double as. There were 2 divisions in the 62-63 season, the Northern Division, which was made up of Calgary, Edmonton, Seattle, and Vancouver. And then the Southern Division there, Southern Division, which was Los Angeles, Portland, San Francisco, and Spokane. So I have the teams there. And for color-coded, it approximates, it kind of hints at, the colors that are on their jerseys. I did Google image and have a look at some of the jerseys. But at the end of the day, I aimed for practicality primarily. I want something that's easy for me to be able to see and look at. And again, just cross off the games as they come up. So again, it's in short, I guess, to sum up, it's going to be 56 games of dog hockey, and they will be drawn randomly. And as well for the Paradise portion as well, I have them numbered from, not really from 1 to 24, but actually from 57 to 80. So they're in the back 9 or the back whatever of the regular season. The latter, what am I trying to say? The final leg of the tour, I guess, for the regular season. These interdivisional games that will be hopefully rivalry games, will be played with Paradise Hockey, and also we will be drawn at random. I'll have a separate list containing numbers from 57 to 80, and so that's how I will go through it. Playoffs, obviously, I'll do it a lot more uniformly, a lot more standard. I don't know if that's obvious, but that's, what came to mind, I guess, for the playoffs. Yes, I'm going to do that maybe a little more straightforward generically as one would have playoffs played out, but playoff series is played out. But so I guess there's really not a whole lot else to this. I guess sometimes I just linger and ramble toward the end of videos thinking, like, I wonder if there was something else that I meant to share. And of course, there probably is some other little point, some other little tidbit that I wanted to divulge here, but I can't really think of it at the moment. So again, I'll just circle back to saying I like to share ideas. This could be something, I think, if you're trying to come up with a condensed, you want to do a replay, maybe you want to do a what if or a replay or some combination there, and this will be a combination of the two. Actually, that's another thing that I will add to this, since it's already, as it approaches 10 minutes here. I don't want to hear about as played. Sorry, but with Doc hockey, you can't really do as played with Doc hockey anyway. Similar to shootout hockey, it's already everything is already baked in. So players who played fewer games in the 62-63 season, their numbers are going to come up less and less often for goals and assists and so on anyway. And of course, there are no penalties in Doc hockey. When I'm playing with Paradise Hockey, I'm going to load up, stack, maximize, however you want to say it, each roster as much as possible. I don't care. They will be augmented, they will be on steroids, what have you. Uh, I'm not focusing on as played here. I want to give every team like the best possible chance to win. Although I realize that in saying that, conversely, if I load up one team, it could make another team's chances worse. But I'm not too concerned about that. Again, this is while I do look forward to, revisiting and looking at this era. Not revisiting. I wasn't there the first time, but while I look forward to having a look at this era of hockey, this league and so on. I still want to be at liberty to have a little fun with it, to take some, I guess, again, creative liberties with this. And so I will be doing that. So yes, this one here, again, with Doc, I can't do as played anyway. And similar to shootout hockey, you can't really do as played with shootout too much either. Mike Owen's quick play would be another one. A lot of the good quick play ones, I think one of the elements that makes them quick play so well actually is just that the rosters are already static, ingrained into the game engine. And so players who played fewer games will just come up less often in significant or important game situations. There's that word that I was stuck on. Okay, so there it is. Yeah, again, let me know what you think, and what you think of the, I guess, specifically the random draw, the way that I'm doing this. So again, I'm not going to know actually until game time who will be playing against who. So I think that should be pretty fun and interesting. Of course, I am going to do the odd game on camera, and so maybe it'll be a matter just before getting on camera of using the aforementioned random number picker. And once I select the number, those are the teams that I set up either with Doc or with Paradise, depending on what point of the regular season that I am at that time. So any time, any consideration, any feedback, input, whatever is certainly, it's never expected, but it's always greatly appreciated. Thank you for any time that you've given to this, for checking it out, and cheers. All right, bye for now.